One thing I want to build for the Montana is a box up on top. Small, narrow box. That'll give me a lot of storage. Something I can put some locks on it so when I'm out on the river, my equipment is secure. My local hardware store yesterday, and I picked up the wood for it. Glue it and screw it all together, seal it all up, paint it. Always got to watch the splinters when you handle a piece of wood. When you're working with wood, it's important to make sure that you seal off the edges first before you put it together. So when I actually put this box together, I'm going to run a bead of caulk, both boards joint, and then I'll screw it together, and that's going to create a seal all the way around. You just don't want moisture to get up in the ends of the board. I will mark 3/4 on the side that I'm getting ready to attach, mark a line, pre-drill my hose inside that 3/4. Whenever I go to set it up and I put my screws in, I know I'm going to make a solid contact with this board right here. Now I'm going to go ahead and spray this area down through here, because anytime wood is going to lay on wood, you want to be sure and have it sealed, because if not, if moisture gets in, it'll seep in this wood right here. So I just want to keep sealing all the areas when I put them together. Nice thing about using a spray paint like this is it really soaks up the wood. You don't have to be neat. You don't have to keep washing your brush. Every time you find a spot that needs to be protected, washing your brush, getting it out. Spray paint works pretty good for a project like this. That's why a lot of your patios, a lot of your exterior work on houses, after about 10 years, they'll go out there and it's totally starting to rot away. And that's because the contractor puts the structure together and then the painter comes in later and paints it. Well, he can't get where the two areas have touched. Where one piece of wood is touching another one, he can't get up in there. So that's where the moisture will get, and that's where you get your rot set in. In this particular project, I'm going to use an exterior screw with a star face on it. It's 1 5/8, and 1 5/8 will go through both boards and hold really strong. It's important to always drill your holes nice and straight. Keep your drill straight. If you drill crooked, your screw is going to go in crooked. I'm using a Sherwin-Williams Shearmax interior exterior caulk that works really well. Lifetime guarantee on it. Caulking is a pretty easy process, but if you've never caulked before, it can be a little strange. So if you're a beginner, check out on LAF Film Fest, that's capital LAF Film Fest, a video I have on how to use a caulking gun. Very informative, really helped out a lot of folks. Subscribe to the channel if you like, and hit that like button. Caulking will work as a sealant and an adhesive. Makes for a pretty nice fit. I wanted to give you a quick update on the storage box that I'm building for the top rack system for the 2004 Pontiac Montana. Box is coming along really well. Now I've installed this gasket right here that goes all the way around. And this seems to be some really good stuff. Here it is right here. Multi-purpose rubber tape by the company MD. This is size small. You just peel it off, stick it down. When it goes on, it's sticky. It has this white paper on the back and you peel it off and stick it right to the surface. So this box, if it was submerged in water, it's going to leak. But just driving down the road, rainstorm, I think it's going to be pretty watertight. Got these hinges that I'm going to install. Locking system, how I'll be able to lock it up. Got this nice piece of black drip edge, and it'll actually be installed here. And what that will do is blowing rain will come in, and it'll be very hard for rain to get up in here and then go through the gasket that I've got. So drip edge will be a secondary protection to keep water from getting up in there. But before I want to install the piece of drip edge, I want to be sure and seal all the wood, coat of paint on it now. Almost got the storage box ready to go, ready to paint. What I wanted to do is show you a few things that I've added to it. Honestly, it turned out to be a pretty good sized project. I first started it, I'm thinking just a storage box, top of the Montana, to put things in as I traveled down the road. As I started working on it, new ideas came up, and what I really wanted to do is make sure that I got it as waterproof as possible. Now, if you submerged it, it's definitely going to leak in. But driving down the road with a rainstorm, heavy rains, I think it's going to be pretty watertight. At least it's going to be pretty water resistant. Let me show you a few things about the box. Okay, so the one thing I decided to add was this drip edge right here. And what I like about it is it hangs down below the seam, which is up here. So any kind of a rain coming down or even going sideways is going to hit this drip edge and come off rather than get up in the seam itself. I've got my locking mechanisms on here. Everything is bolted from the inside out, so it'd be a lot harder to try to take it apart, get into the box. If you're someone that's looking to steal something, it's going to be a little bit more difficult for you to do that. You can see my latches are made for a couple locks. on each side, and I'll probably end up putting one right here in the middle too. Everything has been sealed with a good lifetime guarantee caulking. Everything like this right here, I have not got to these yet. I'm going to seal this along here. I'll seal the hose that I didn't use, and I'll seal every bolt just to make sure that water doesn't want to seep in. What happens is in the wintertime when you got snow and ice and I'm on the road, the freeze and thaw, water will want to seep in through different areas. So I just want to make sure everything is caulked up, ready to go before I actually apply that coat of paint. All the hinges are all sealed up, ready to go. I'm actually going to take and seal all these little screw heads here. These screws do not go through the box to the inside, but still I'm going to seal them up so water doesn't get in there. That's how water starts to rot things out, is when it can get in there and stay in there, and then eventually you'll have a problem. My latch is set up here. Lid comes open. I put these stays, these lid stays or cabinet stays on it here, and that will keep the lid open. So all the bare wood you see here will all be painted with good exterior paint. I'm actually going to use an oil spray on it. You can see everything is seamed up here. Everything is all seamed up. I've got caulk on all the joints. Now I've got this piece of wood sitting in here. When I don't have anything in there that's the full length, I'll keep this piece of wood in there, and that'll keep the sides from wanting to bow in. That's the problem when you work with wood. It will move, especially if water can get to it. That's why I'm sealing everything up, but still, as an added precaution, I'm going to just keep that block of wood. When I lay something in here that's longer than this one section here, I'll actually lay this down. This is just loose in there, and I'll lay that down. When I'm done with it, I'll put it back up. Now I also added these pieces of steel, and I'm not sure if these are gonna work or not. But the reason I put them here, put them down here, one at the bottom and one on this side, is my thinking is a lot of times boards will want to cup. They'll want to cup on you, and I'm thinking with that piece of steel, it'll keep that board straight. It'll keep it from cupping. At least it'll help some. You can see everything has been bolted from the inside with washers. Pretty secure. Now here's something I really like, is this gasket. I found this gasket right here, and it's pretty nice. When this lid comes down, it's a pretty good seal on there. Once again, not 100% waterproof, but it should work pretty good. Okay, so I think I am ready to paint. Now this turned out to be a pretty big project. Altogether, with the prices of lumber these days and the price of everything seems to be going up and up and up. Even the screws, washers, nuts, everything seems to be going up in price. So when it's said and done in materials, I probably have close to $200 in this box right here. I looked online, I thought about getting some of the car top carriers from Yakima. Problem I had is, number one, finding one that was this long, because I definitely have some longer stuff I want to store in here, and I wanted to make sure I had that length. Most of those boxes seem to start about $450, $500. Some of them even go as high as $1,200, $1,500. So that's why I decided to go with this construction install. Because I know carpentry and because I know construction, I'm able to do this, so my labor price is zero. But if you had to buy the material and then you had to hire somebody to put this together for you, you'd probably be in the $500, $600 range, because I've got a lot of hours in this, just making sure everything's put together right and ready to go. So you might want to think about it if you're going to do it yourself, and if you build it exactly like I have, you'll have a couple $100s in it. You might just want to think about buying a box, strapping it on top, and going on down the road. And I'm going to put several coats, 2, 3, 4 coats of paint on it to make sure as the years go by, it's going to hold up to the element. But now that is one thing, this box will not sit on the Montana every day. I'm only going to use it when I'm on a trip, and when I get back, it comes off and goes into the shop. So it won't be exposed to weather continuously, but it will hit rainstorms, it will hit snowstorms, it will get weather on it at times. So I'm going to go ahead and paint it up. sure everything is sealed up nice. Water will find its way in the smallest areas. The more you do to prevent it, the better you are. Okay, got the storage box built. For the 2004 Pontiac Montana, that's going to give me a lot of extra room to put camping gear and all kind of things in. Kind of keeps the inside more clear, so when I'm camping inside, I've got more room to move around. I appreciate you coming to the channel. That's LAF Space Film Fest. That's capital LAF Space Film Fest. I hope this helps you out if you're looking for a little extra storage space. We can all use a little extra room inside our vehicles for sure as we're hitting the road and traveling this great, beautiful country of ours. As you can see, I've got the storage box all completed. A lot of times we all need just a little extra room, and this right here I think is going to give it for me. I've got it set up so I can take it on and off. So if I don't think I'm going to need it, I'm not going to carry it on the Montana. Those times when I'm taking a little longer trip and a little extra gear, I think it's going to work out just fine. I hope this helps you out. Always nice to have a little extra storage. Yes. Okay, road warriors, it's time to get out there. Keep on punching those miles out down that road. I appreciate you coming to the channel. That's going to give me a lot of extra room. Always nice to finish a nice project like that. On to the next one. I probably went to the hardware store, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 times at least. Because each time I came home and I started putting it together, there was something else that came up and I thought, you know, that would really be nice if I could do that, incorporate that in the build of the storage box, and it'd be so much stronger, waterproof, just worked out pretty nice. So if somebody wants to get in it, if somebody really wanted it, they're going to tear it up and they're going to try to get into it. But you know, you kind of hope that out on the road you just don't run into characters like that, but they're bad actors everywhere. Keep in mind, the summer's going by fast, so get on out there. Put some gas in your car, smash on that pedal, and get on out there and go somewhere. This summer, the summer of 2021, the awakening. You're all coming back to life. We're all feeling good. Okay, I'm going to get to planning my next trip. Google Maps, here I come. One of my favorites. I call it Flugeling. That's flying around up above Google Maps, looking down and figuring out what rivers I want to go to, what areas I want to travel.